I'm Johnny Carson, and for 30 years I made 70 million Americans laugh every single night. I sat behind that desk at NBC, interviewed over 22,000 guests, told more jokes than I can count, and became one of the most recognized faces in America. But here's something I never told you during all those years on The Tonight Show. I was dying inside, and I didn't even know it. You see, everyone thought they knew me. America invited me into their living rooms at 11:30 every night. I was their friend, their companion before bed, the guy who made them forget about their problems for 90 minutes. Johnny Carson, the king of late night, the man with the perfect timing, the quick wit, the charm that never failed. But that person you saw on screen, that wasn't me. That was a character I played so convincingly that I eventually forgot who I actually was underneath the smile. I'm sharing this now because there's something you need to understand about success, about fame, about achieving everything you ever dreamed of. It's all a trap, and I should know because I walked right into it with my eyes wide open. Before I tell you what I learned too late, you need to know something. I'm not here to complain or fish for sympathy. I had an extraordinary career. I'm grateful for every moment of it. But there are truths I need you to hear, things I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and shouted in my face when I was younger, before I traded everything that actually mattered for a career that couldn't hold me when I was alone at night. At 53 years old, something happened that shattered every illusion I had built. And what I discovered changed everything I thought I knew about what makes a life worth living. It was 1979, and I was at the absolute peak of my career. The Tonight Show was dominating late-night television. We had the ratings, the advertisers, the cultural influence. I had more money than I knew what to do with, the respect of everyone in Hollywood, and America's love. On paper, I had won the game of life, but I was sitting alone in my Malibu home after another successful show, staring at the ocean, and I realized something that made my blood run cold. I had nobody to share any of it with. My second marriage was crumbling. My 3 sons, Ricky, Corey, and Chris, they were growing up, and I barely knew them. I had spent so much time being Johnny Carson, the entertainer, that I had completely forgotten how to be Johnny Carson, the father, the husband, the human being. Here's what nobody tells you about success in show business, or maybe any business. Every single hour you spend building your career is an hour you're stealing from your real life, and those hours, you can never get them back, ever. I missed Ricky's high school graduation because we had a special guest that week. I missed Corey's baseball games because I was writing monologues. I missed Chris's birthday parties because there was always another show, another rating to chase, another network executive to impress. I told myself the same lie every absent father tells himself. When the show is more stable, I'll make more time. When I'm more established, I'll slow down. When I've really made it, then I'll focus on what matters. That day never came. You know what memory haunts me most from those years? Not the standing ovations or the Emmy Awards or the nights when every joke landed perfectly. I remember my youngest son, Chris. He was maybe 7 years old, and he looked up at me with these big innocent eyes and asked, "Dad, when are you going to be home for dinner?" And I said, "Soon, buddy, real soon." I said that word soon so many times it became meaningless. Soon became never. And by the time I finally understood what I had done, it was too late to get those years back. But what happened next made everything even worse, and I'm not sure you're ready to hear it. When I finally left The Tonight Show in 1992, I had something I hadn't experienced in 3 decades. Silence. Real, terrifying silence. No audience applause, no writer's room, no cameras. Just me, alone with myself, forced to look at what I had become. And you know what I discovered? The things that actually made me feel alive had nothing to do with television. It was the quiet morning I finally had breakfast with Ricky as an adult, trying to rebuild a relationship I had neglected for years. It was the simple pleasure of watching the sunset without thinking about tomorrow's monologue. It was calling my sons just to hear their voices, not because it was a holiday or an obligation. It was being present in a moment instead of always performing, always being on. The cruelest irony of my life is this. I spent 30 years making millions of people laugh, and during that time I was never truly happy. But in my final years, away from the cameras and the applause and the fame, I finally found something close to peace, not because I achieved more, because I finally stopped chasing. Here's what I wish I could go back and tell that ambitious 25-year-old kid from Nebraska who dreamed of making it big. Johnny, you're going to make it. You're going to be more successful than you ever imagined possible, but nobody's telling you the price. That success is going to cost you your marriages, your relationship with your sons, your chance at a normal life. And one day when you're old and the cameras are off, you'll realize you paid too much. You can't have everything. That's the biggest lie they sell you. You can have a legendary career or deep relationships, but both at the level I tried, something always breaks. And what broke was my family, and I can never fix that. So here's my question for you, and I need you to answer honestly, because what comes next might save your life. Who are you leaving behind right now while you chase your version of success? Is it your kids who won't stop asking when you'll be home? Your spouse who's learning to live without you? Your parents who are getting older every single day? Your friends who stopped inviting you because you always say you're too busy? They won't wait forever. I promise you that. They'll adapt. They'll move on. They'll build lives that don't include you. And one day, when you finally decide you're ready to make time, you might find that the door is closed. The opportunity is gone. And unlike a television show, you don't get a second take. I made America laugh for 30 years, and I'm grateful for that legacy. But you know what I would trade every single Emmy, every standing ovation, every magazine cover for? One more chance to be at Ricky's graduation, one more Little League game with Corey, one more birthday party with Chris when he still thought his dad was a hero. Success is intoxicating, achievement feels incredible, but it fades. The applause stops. The fame dims. What lasts is the love you gave, the time you invested in people, the memories you created when you chose presence over performance. Don't wait 30 years to figure this out. Don't sacrifice the people who love you for a career that can't love you back. If this hit home, leave a comment below and tell me what you're going to do differently. Hit subscribe because there's more truth coming, and tell me, where in the world are you watching this from? I'd love to know. Your life is happening right now. Don't miss it like I did.